On this episode of O'Fallon Matters, get an update on O'Fallon's CLIP program, see how EdTech is now in one of O'Fallon's local high schools, and learn how to make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Stay with us for O'Fallon Matters. Welcome to O'Fallon Matters. Crews are preparing for the second phase of the citywide landscape identity plan. Here's Joe Meyer with an update on this essential program.
In 2012, construction was completed on the entrance sign and landscaping project at the Highway K and 64 entrance on the south side of O'Fallon. The O'Fallon CLIP Committee is now ready to start Phase 2 of the project. The purpose of the City of O'Fallon's CLIP program is to bridge the whole city and also give it a consistent identity.
St. Charles County is such a hodgepodge where you can literally drive down the same street for a mile and go through St. Peter's, O'Fallon, and Darden Prairie in a very small period of time. So we want people to understand when they're in O'Fallon where that is, where the borders are, and also just bring a consistent look throughout the city. We have so many different neighborhoods, so many different environments. If we can help kind of bridge that together over the long run, we think that'll actually have an economic development impact and really be a positive for our businesses. This year, we're going to take what we did last year and really kind of enhance it. If you start down at the K and 64 intersection, we've got a real nice base right there, but we wanted to bring a little more landscaping in and a little more color to the area. So they're going to add a rock wall in front of it and some more plants in that area. Essentially, by the end of this year, we should have both of the major interchanges on the south side of town completed. As we go forward in the future, we're going to gradually make changes to our existing signage around the city or just places where we need signs.
Westhoff Park and O'Fallon's Public Works facility will have new CLIP signage by the end of the year.
These are small changes, but gradually over the next 10 years as these small changes take place, people are going to start to see kind of a consistent model throughout the whole city. It's just taking it little bit by little bit.
Besides new signage and other CLIP enhancements, there will also be future plans for the Page extension.
The initial phase, when Page first comes through, we're going to work on bridge enhancements. So you're going to see some of the decorative elements in the bridge that will match the bridges that will match our CLIP look and feel. Gradually going forward, then also we'll have the same opportunities to do some signage at the exit ramps and things like that. Those are things that we can do a little bit in the future, so we'll kind of bring those in as we go forward.
If you would like to find out more information on O'Fallon's CLIP program, you can go to www.o'fallon.mo.us.
This next story features a local high school that has invested in EdTech for its students. Here's Joe Richter with a story on how iPads are changing the way high school students learn.
Guys, 25.
St. Dominic High School is going all out when it comes to EdTech. In April of 2012, board members toured several schools and decided that the iPad would be the perfect content delivery and creation device for students. Planning for this new iPad initiative was not an easy task. In fact, it required network upgrades, work with parents, and teacher professional development with Apple. But all 694 students at St. Dominic traded book bags and textbooks for an iPad.
I think it's great for the student. For one thing, it puts in their hands unlimited resources. It's in the hands of the teachers, and it's also how our students live. This is their life in terms of constantly being in contact through electronic medium.
Parents were required to buy the iPad for their child, then St. Dominic provides the interactive textbooks plus any extra apps.
The product we're using is called eBackpack. And basically it's no different than people's offices have some type of a workflow situation. And so ours happens to be called eBackpack, And then that allows the students to get the notes that the teacher would have previously maybe written on the board or the overhead. They would have written in their notebook. So the student can download the information, they can download the quizzes, they can download the homework, they can download whatever the content is. They complete it and then they send it off to the teacher. It's graded by the teacher. It's then sent back electronically. So we're hoping to significantly cut down our paper consumption through this process also.
So how are the students adapting to this new learning ecosystem?
But this year it was a lot different because we don't have any planners. And so what we did is we have a My Homework app where we use to kind of schedule all of our homework, which is kind of a big thing for me because I use my planner a lot and helps me keep organized and everything. And
I feel like there's a lot more expected of the students because the teachers can tell when you turn it in and you can't make as many excuses because they can see when you were working on it. So it makes the students check in with themselves more often.
you can be connected with your teacher. Like if you have questions with your teacher, you can email right off the iPad, and you're able to communicate with your teacher from the iPad. And like you have your books online, you have all your information online. It's all in one place. So it's not like you're having to go to a different place to find information.
If students struggle with the new learning environment, they can rest easy knowing help is right around the corner.
For the students, we have an I-team, and it's basically a group of students that they wear colored lanyards, and that signifies to anybody in the school that they can help you out. And so they help both students and they help the teachers too in terms of what's going on.
We meet before school, after school, and during contact time, which is essentially homeroom, and we help with whatever questions the students have.
The iPad initiative is receiving positive feedback from students and their instructors, and they both know there's still so much more to learn.
And then I think just the fact that hopefully kids will be more engaged in their own learning. I mean, all of us want to help create lifelong learners. And so that's what we're hoping this helps our kids to do, but it also helps our teachers be a part of that. I hope it's a good process for the kids, and I hope it's going to be a good end product for the kids.
It's always great when parents, students, and teachers pursue new frontiers in education, all in an effort to become leaders in their local and global communities.
Since 1983, John Grise has been a consistent presence on city staff. We spoke with John about his commitment to O'Fallon's history as well as its management.
I started working in the city on a Monday. It was August 22nd, 1983. My first position with the city, now I have to go back and think because there's been several, but I think I was the park superintendent, acting park superintendent. I believe that was the title at that time. My current position is Director of Administrative Services, and that entails basically I manage 5 departments. I have Information Technology, IT, Volunteer Services, Human Resources, Fleet Maintenance, and Facilities Maintenance. The nice thing that really keeps me fresh is the fact that having 5 different departments, every day you have 5 different challenges. I was Director of Parks and Recreation for about 15 years. After I did that, I was able to be the assistant to the city administrator for a number of years. And while I was in that position, I had special projects. So I was able to see the stadium be constructed. I was able to see the Veterans Memorial Walk be constructed. And those were 2 interesting projects that are really once-in-a-lifetime type projects, so I was pretty fortunate to have those under my belt.
John's long-term O'Fallon affiliation goes beyond merely his employment.
I've lived in O'Fallon my entire life except that period of time when I went to college. So yeah, I've seen a lot of changes in O'Fallon. When I was a kid, Interstate 70 was the farthest city limits south. And now, as everybody knows, we go on the other side of Interstate 64. Yeah, it really wasn't a big stretch to say that you knew a large number of people in town and they knew you. You couldn't go out somewhere either to have lunch or breakfast or go to the grocery store and somebody would ask you, what's going on with this project or why were the cops over there the other day. It was just a lot smaller back then, and you would go out to eat, you would know 95% of the people in the restaurant.
It's little wonder John has an interest in O'Fallon's history.
My grandmother, she was the granddaughter of Nicholas Crakel, who was considered the founder of O'Fallon. So she had photographs and some furniture that belonged to him, and she, of course, along with that, she had actual stories that she handed down. Both sides of my family have been in O'Fallon for a long time, and so I grew up hearing the stories about what O'Fallon was like in, the turn of the century, and then what it was like in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. The city just formed a new commission, the Historic Preservation Committee, and one of the things they're charged with, among other things, is the preservation of historic buildings in O'Fallon. And we really don't have a lot of the older, more historic buildings that were here when I was a kid. However, in the core part of O'Fallon, the part that was founded in 1856, there are still a lot of the structures that were original there that are over 100 years old. And there's attempts being made by that commission and by others to restore some of those houses, those buildings, or at least make sure that they don't go away. And people point to McGurk's as an example of success of an old mercantile that was built back in the 1870s, and now it's a successful restaurant bar that you hardly can get into on a Friday or Saturday night. I have to say I've always been fortunate when I worked with the city. It sounds corny, but I've always been able to work around a lot of good people. And a lot of them over the years, there's many of them that aren't around anymore, but there are still some that have been around almost as long or longer than I've been here. And when you work with good people, it always makes the job a lot easier.
It's time for a break. When we come back, we'll feature a St. Charles County Library District program that is making a direct impact on our community. Also, you'll find out how you may be eligible for vital home improvement help. Stay with us for O'Fallon Matters.
The O'Fallon Mayor's Youth Advisory Council wants you to arrive at your destination safe and sound.
Here are a few tips to help you avoid texting while driving.
Ask a passenger to send a text for you.
You can see who texted you after you stop driving. Throw the phone in the backseat if you don't have the willpower. It's not worth dying over.
If you need to send a text, pull over to a safe area first.
Set up a message to tell your friend that you are driving and you'll get back to them as soon as possible.
Admit it, parents, how many times have you texted while driving? In our fast-paced society, it's hard not to answer a text as soon as it rings. But remember, your kids are watching and will inevitably follow your behavior.
Remember, texting and driving is dangerous. This has been a message brought to you by the O'Fallon Mayor's Youth Advisory Council.
Welcome back to O'Fallon Matters. Give your yard a boost with these practical fall lawn tips.
O'Fallon residents spend countless hours during the year making their precious lawns look beautiful. But every now and then, that hard work may not produce the results that they were looking for. On this month's episode of O'Fallon Matters, landscape manager Bob Deardorff volunteered his time to give you some helpful tips that will make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. A little extra work in the fall can make all the difference in the spring.
One aspect about lawn care that homeowners don't realize is that late summer, the end of August, is the ideal time to plant grass seed. Warm soil temperatures in late August bring out a good incubation period to get that seed germinated. Occasional rains, but mostly supplement irrigation from your sprinkler system, and you'll prime the seed, you'll get it rooted in 10 to 14 days, and we reach mid-September and the weather cools off, and that's the perfect time to grow lawn grass seed. This area of lawn around me right here is a perfect candidate for fall seeding. Very patchy with some tall fescue, and we have areas that are completely bare. So to come in now and roughen this up and bring dirt to the top and have the seed touch the dirt, we would have all this filled in by the middle of October.
Besides seeding, you may also want to take this pivotal step.
Another key aspect to having a picture-perfect lawn is the importance of fertilizing your lawn in the fall. And the reason why this is so magical is because summer temperatures bring about warm soil, but as we move into late September and October, the nights start to get chilly, but the soil's still warm. So your fall fertilizer applications will promote growth underground. So spots that normally would be somewhat bare will be filled in the next spring. So here's a good example of an area where the grass isn't great, but there's enough turf here that putting extra seed down probably isn't going to give you the results you're looking for. The way to change this is to fertilize it. Start thinking about fall lawn care rather so much about spring lawn care. If you're having problems right now, number one would be go in and get all the weeds out as quick as you can and try to hit that end of August seeding date. Labor Day fertilizer, Halloween fertilizer applications, and that whole program will start to turn your lawn around and you'll be far less frustrated.
Make sure you watch future episodes of O'Fallon Matters to get more tips on how you can make your lawn a masterpiece.
This next story features a program which is committed to ensuring that every St. Charles County resident has access to a true library experience, even if they're unable to go to the library.
The Books to You program is sponsored by the Library Foundation. Every week, this program provides a vital service to the seniors of our community. Programs like this put huge smiles on the face of those residents who struggle to get to the library.
The library district has this program to be able to bring services to those individuals that can't come into the library, and so the Library Foundation actually sponsors it and hosts it, searching for volunteers that are able to provide those services, because we want to make sure that even if people aren't able to come into the library, the services can be delivered to them.
There's no better time than now to sign up to volunteer or to receive materials through the Books to You program.
We pair them with a volunteer. They just need to fill out a simple application that talks about why they need the services, where they live, so that we can pair them with a volunteer that lives in their area, and then we connect them with someone who is interested in providing those services, and so we call them home visit specialists.
It takes very little time. You can just drop off the books if your person doesn't wish to visit. If they want to visit, I will sit and visit with Elaine for maybe an hour or so, and it's every couple of weeks. So I run to the library, it's right around the corner, and then just run over and run over some books. So it doesn't take up a lot of time, but it's a lot of value for myself, and I know it's a lot of value for Elaine.
She's so warm and giving. It just makes me more appreciative. And I have tried to tell as many seniors that are homebound as I can of the program.
Besides providing reading materials for seniors, the program also gives recipients a reading buddy or just a person to talk to.
One of the things that the recipients talk about, it's great that they get the books and they really appreciate the materials that come in, but for them, it's also more about the relationship and the connection that they build with the volunteers, because a lot of people, and especially if they're in senior homes or assisted living centers, may not have the visits, regular interaction that they used to have, and so for them it's an extra interaction and visit and just time to chat with someone that they may not necessarily have on an ongoing basis.
Since this is a program where you receive books, I mean, you choose the books yourself, but you receive books so you can do so much with that. Broaden your mind, or just read for therapy, or comedy, whatever it is that you like. And if you're homebound, you generally you're generally not able to do too much, so reading is a good thing, I think.
So I think it's just one thing extra that we can do to really kind of support specifically the seniors in our area to make sure that they are still connected to the community.
For more information on the Books to You program, you can go to www.stchlibraryfoundation.org/books-to-you, or feel free to give them a call at 636-441-2300 and then hit extension 1517.
If your home is in need of repair but you just can't afford it, this next program may be for you. Here's Joe Meyer with more.
The City of O'Fallon's Home Improvement Loan Program provides a one-time, no-interest forgivable loan of up to $5,000 to eligible residents to make repairs and improvements to their owner-occupied property. The funds from O'Fallon's program come from the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
The CDBG program is very important to local municipalities, especially O'Fallon, because we've got homeowners who are being affected by, all of the stuff going on with our economy. They're struggling to meet their daily bills, more or less upkeep their homes. So not only will it help that specific homeowner keep their home up to code, keep their home looking nice, but it helps every resident in O'Fallon keeping our city looking beautiful.
Various dynamic home improvement projects get completed throughout the year.
In 2012, we did 28 homes. Now, some of those homes maybe just did one project, whether it be windows or roof, because of the sheer cost of that project. Some of the homes are doing 5 or 6 small projects. So as far as individual projects, there's a multitude of them, but we did help 28 homes in 2012.
Helping families improve their homes is the #1 priority of this program.
We do a lot of the same projects over and over because they're large ticket items that the homeowners can't afford. We're doing HVAC replacements, we're doing roof replacements, we're doing a lot of window replacements right now with the big push to be more energy efficient. And then the other things that we're doing that are on a smaller scale are driveway cracks, foundation repairs, front porch cracks, and then just any kind of code violation. That is the first thing that we always do is when we go into the home, we do a code inspection, and all of those items are the first tickets that we do. From there, we move on to bigger projects. So the goal is to keep everybody safe and up to code.
It's easy to apply for the program. All you have to do is call us or simply come up to O'Fallon's Municipal Center and grab an application.
I was amazed actually at how easy the process was. It just involved gathering the required paperwork and then calling some people to get the bids that we needed and submitting everything. And like I said, Jessica was very good about walking us through each step of the process and really made it so simple. It was much easier than we expected it to be.
So don't be shy. You may be surprised to know that you may just qualify. If you need help with home improvements on your house, go ahead and call 636-379-5411 or go to www.ofallon.mo.us and click on Grant Programs.
They're just so forever grateful. They're like, we wouldn't have been able to get this done had it not been for these funds, Whether it's saving on their utility bill, a couple of them will call me a couple months later and be like, ever since we put in the new air conditioning unit or the new windows, my utility bill has gone down by this much. Thank you so much. So, and even just smaller repairs, they're just grateful that the help is there for them when they need it.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you have a good story idea, let us know. You can email us at OFallonTV@OFallon.mo.us. Please remember to give back to your community because O'Fallon matters to all of us.